the question is that once the mindset is correct and you're like, yeah, I want to consciously delegate more, Shweta, because yeah, it's all, you know, as we talked about sense of value, then also knowing when to delegate. Nobody is saying, and I'm surely not saying that you should just, you know, go in a blanket way and start delegating things. Knowing when to delegate, which will be useful for you and useful for the other person who you're delegating. So generally, when you look at that, you're looking at two things. So my favorite 4x4 or 2x2. So here we are looking at the task importance or the urgency. Obviously, that's what you're looking at. The other one is individual readiness. And two elements here, the skill and the will. So skill is the competence, like does the person have the capability to deliver that? And the willingness. Willingness could be because of the time factor. Willingness could be because of the aptitude. Could be many reasons. So is the person skillful and willful to actually take that task on board? And as you can see, there is low, high bit sitting here. Now, I'm sure you can see from a particular quadrant that it's a no-brainer. And I wouldn't say no-brainer, but yes, if I have to choose that when not to delegate, then this is the area where you should be the last one to think about delegating. If something is really important, really urgent, and if you feel the skill is not there or the will is not there, you should not be delegating at that time. You will only get frustrated or you will intervene too fast and spoil the whole process of delegation. Now, where delegation makes absolute sense, like a gold place for you to be delegating straight away, not even thinking about it, is this one, where you have a little bit more time. The urgency is not there. You have more kind of buffer to soak in failures, right? You're like, it's okay. If something doesn't work out, we have enough buffer. We can safety nets. It's fine. And the person is very willing and very keen and skillful. Of course, we should be looking at delegation. Now, the other two quadrants where you see where either the urgency is very high or we are seeing, or where the individual readiness is actually low. Here, yes, you should be delegating, but with a huge dose of monitoring. Huge dose of monitoring. And I have said this before, that delegation comes with micromanagement, and people say, micromanagement? But it's not really micromanagement in that sense where you're breathing down the neck of someone, but really having strong touch points, places where you're checking in, you're monitoring, you're seeing the evidence of movement forward, actually the work happening, and not just giving full autonomy, going back to the 4 levels. This is where you're looking at level 2 or level 3 kind of autonomy and accountability that you're giving to this person. And it's quite clear why that's required, looking at the mix, right? Now, it could be, and let's have a look. So it's possible that in your business right now, actually ask yourself, saying, which quadrant are you in with your team? Are you kind of more in upper section here? Are you more here, or is it kind of more here for you? Or is it more in this section? Where are you majority of the times? And if you are in this lower 2 quadrants where you are not able to delegate because of the urgency of the tasks, and even if the tasks are not urgent, you feel that your people are not ready or they are not willing to take the tasks on board. If that's a very common situation, majority of the times, then I would highly recommend that you look at the talent pool that you have in your business. And this is where the conscious development and motivation of the team is concerned. So if they are not skillful, there's a ceiling there, then the training requirement is clearly sitting. If they are not willing, then it could be the way you're communicating. What's the purpose behind this task? Why this is so important for the organization? The alignment might be missing, and that's why they're not enthused to take that task on board or complete it properly. So you have to reflect at these 2 levels. One is the development, the other one is the motivation of the team. Are you doing enough of that for them to say, yeah, I would love to be part of this, I will complete this. So slow down and reflect, but don't just say, people, they're not good, I'm the one who knows it all, and yeah, they just don't want to do anything. Because what I've seen many times, and I believe in this, that every human being who is into a career wants to be acknowledged and appreciated. And they want to be getting these 2 things on the back of the value that they're adding to the unit that they're working in. And everyone wants to add value and feel recognized and important, right? So they want to do it, but then what's the reason they're not doing it? And if they're completely disengaged with the organization, then you might as well confront that and then do something about it rather than just dragging the non-performance. But if it's a genuine competency ceiling, then yes, it's development. Or if they're not aligned with your vision, then make sure that you're absolutely clarifying that. So action point sitting there. If for some of you, you're like, Shweta, forget about delegation. Seriously, I mean, I just can't do this. I just can't delegate. It's just too difficult for me. So here, with a lot of love and care, I say to this person who's thinking like this, could be you, is that there are two things happening here potentially. Okay, if this is common situation in your business where you're like, no, people are not willing, they're not skillful, everything is important, I need to be doing everything in the business right now. Then there are two things. One is that you lack sense of prioritization, because everything cannot be urgent and important. So you really need to then work on this domain, which is what is prioritization and how do you prioritize? And the other one is the superiority complex, which is really saying, I'm the best, I know how to do the best, and I don't have effing time to really kind of talk to someone or explain this to someone. I might as well get it done. This is the whole superiority complex. I'm the Superman kind of thing. And I say this with a lot of love and care because I think we all are guilty of these two bits at some point or the other time in our business. But just being mindful of this, saying that I actually want people in my business who are better than myself. And it's also my role to develop them, to train them. And if someone is not good, then identify and take some corrective action, because dragging doesn't help anyone, not the other person, and surely not you and not the business. So, but be conscious of your own, like the self-talk. I can't delegate, I have to do everything, because hold on, stop and apply some brakes here. So this is where you should be really doing what only you can do. And a very wise man said this, that every person should do only what that person can do, and where you are really in your zone and flow and that state of peak performance, saying, this is where I enhance the value, maximize the value. And what is that? What is that only you should be doing in the business? 70% rule is a very straightforward rule. And it says that if the CEO or MD, if you're delegating the task to a person, and if you feel that person can perform the task to at least 70% as well as he or she can, then he or she should delegate. So I'm saying he here, but obviously it's all genders here. So yes, if the other person can do the task at 70% level, then you should delegate. 70% is what we're talking about here. And this 70% performance should allow you to proactively move tasks to other team members and have them perform the tasks at an acceptable level. 70% is what we're looking at. And that kind of allows you to say, okay, fine, 30% goes missing. But if it's 70%, it's okay. And if you feel, no, it's 100% performance I need to have, that I think just relaxing, saying, when I delegate, I actually delegate with the consciousness of inefficiency. And that's what that 70% rule is. Saying, I know there'll be a little bit of inefficiency, it's okay. But it's worth the release of time. It's worth the level of education that's being passed on. It's worth the development that's happening. But there you have to relax a little bit. If 70% of performance is acceptable for the business, not for you, for the business. Because you might be like 100%, I need 100%. No, but business can do with 70% of performance. Business is a different entity, breathing, functioning, working, performing. It's not you, it's different. So you might be at 100%, the business, if it can be at 70%, then start moving tasks to team members and they can perform at that level.